It's Wednesday, June 15th, and I'm at 6 Clement Circle, the world headquarters of the Whole Brain Foundation. And I'm trying something new here. That is, I'm walking with my cane, using these bars. I think I'll use the bars to make it easier to get down here so I don't spend all my time walking the gangplank here. But I'm heading off to see my personal health director, Nolan Watts, about a third of a mile away. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day. But walking without the walker and with only one cane is the kind of paradigm shift that I talk about, think about with Thomas Kuhn, book on the history of scientific revolutions, and he noticed that there were paradigm shifts all along the way, with the wheel, writing, the printing press, the steam engine, the scientific method, with Galileo and Newton and Darwin and Edison and Einstein. Things change, and I have to be extremely careful, because it's like going across the Grand Canyon on a wire. It feels like there's no place.
Be careful with that hole.
For me to protect myself. But getting started is always half the battle. And this is truly a startup proof of concept project where I'm marching to Fromagios. We are marching to Fromagios, Fromagios, Fromagios. We are marching to Fromagios, Fromagios, hoorah. Oh, I'm with you and you're with me, and so we are all together. So we are all together. So we are all together. I'm with you and you're with me, and so we are all together. As we march along, we are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, Pretoria. We are marching to Pretoria, Pretoria, hoorah. Well, Thomas Kuhn has been making a big impression on me with the idea of a paradigm shift, where the old order changeth, and the process that the world must go through to reject the new idea, it only comes when the old world is falling apart, where the success of the last paradigm shift ultimately fails by and the failure is sown by the seeds in the success. So that, for example, now that we have gone from what we called the information superhighway, and we called it that because we wanted to relate it to what we knew in the past, the highway, and we called it the horseless carriage because we wanted to relate it to the horse, which was the previous paradigm shift. And the But after a while, we no longer called it the horseless carriage, we called it the car, which was short for carriage. We didn't call it the information superhighway. It became the internet and the World Wide Web. Well, here we are on the first fifth of the 21st century. We're on the verge of a new paradigm where our very understanding of what it means to be humanity, our very nature will change. And it will change in ways that will both enrich us and challenge us. As we do, as Ray Kurzweil says, break through the legacy of the genetic legacy that has shackled us to doing no more than we can do with the genetics that we came with. Well, our creativity, our problem-solving ability, which starts from the moment we start breathing and heart beating, has allowed us to take that humanity, to take its creativity and generate technology. And these shifts from the Paleolithic era to the agricultural era to the industrial era, including the printing press and the steam engine, and the electrical power grid, and even nuclear power. About 1950, we shifted over to the information age, starting as the digital age, and we are now at the point where the expected information overload that was clearly seen in the 50s and the 60s as we got microfiche and the number of books proliferated. We now are getting so many emails, each one of us, that we can barely filter them out. We can't answer them all. And that's just one source of complete chaos that we all experience in our lives every moment of the day, even though walking down this street, and we're going to show how beautiful, give them a 360 of what we're seeing. Nature by itself isn't changing. It looks like it might have looked 100 years ago when Clement Circle was built, 120 years ago. But what's happening in our lives as we have to use our creative processes and the technology that's taking this iPhone video is that we now need something equivalent to the technology of the internet. I'm giving it, it's very clear to me that just as the internet is to technology, so too is the framework for humanity. And the framework that I'm working on is a cube floating through space and time. The cube on the z-axis is where we talk about humanity, and then the y-axis up and down, that's for technology, and then the x-axis going across, that's for creativity. And each one of those 5 by 5 by 5 cubes within cubes within cubes gives us a framework to think about humanity, whether it's the personal, the social, the organizational, the political, or the civilizational. Well, think about technology and knowledge, content, whether it's the most abstract directory, or whether it's the catalogs that come below that, or curricula, for example, or the lessons within the curricula at the 4th level, all the way down to the ingredients, the stories. The stories are the real examples of good and bad, success and failure. And up at the top of this modular hierarchy of technology and knowledge and content, the structure. And then the x-axis, creativity, going from the plan to the goals, to the strategy, to the structure, to the implementation. Another 5. Nature likes to do things in 5. Let's see, I got 5 fingers on the hand. The reason that there are 5 is that when DNA is building biological structures, if they're challenged as they are in the real world, as everyone is challenged, the most efficient way to do it is to build it in a hierarchy and then to encapsulate it or make it modular. So that's what we've done with Charlie's Cube. It's a hierarchical, encapsulated, but it's also a visual structure that can be the common denominator that integrates technology and the internet in the framework of the human mind. Think of the human mind as the body, visible, the mind, invisible, and the brain, which is controlling it. 3 layers, again, a layered structure. The iPhone that's shooting this video is also a layered structure, with the iOS 9, about to be 10, being the mind, the operating system, and then the brain of the iPhone is the chip, and the apps are the body's behavior. So there's a parallel between the person and the phone, and that parallel is being so outstripped by the accelerating exponential growth of technology.
Use the walker to cross the street.
No,
Charlie.
I'm gonna go this way.
So
Let him come across. Please come across.
it's
Yeah, I'm
coming
going
more
now.
cars. More cars. Just wait a
They'll
little
They
bit.
can wait.
Just
I don't care.
wait a little bit, Charlie.
I'm on a mission.
Okay. Let's cross here. Come to the line, Charlie. Come to the line.
I think I can use that pole